So I wanted to post more YouTube videos and kind of get into the habit of uploading more frequently, but the vlog style I was doing is a little bit difficult because I have to sort of kind of animate each one, and it takes quite a while, a couple hours to do each one. I don't know, even putting it together is just a couple hours, and the drawings more so. It probably takes a couple days just to do one. So I thought I'd do these drawing or illustration processes that I've seen other people doing. It seems easy and fun to just talk about what I do and how I do it, and maybe some of you might be interested in that. Um, so anyway, I tend to use Procreate or iPad Pro when I work with doing digital illustrations. I use Photoshop sometimes, but lately I've just been doing this 'cause it's easy to whip out my iPad and just kind of start drawing. Works as like a digital sketchbook in a way, and then I get like these beautiful vibrant colors with thick lines, and I don't know, they just look nice. I've been doing this more than traditional art lately because I just kind of like the way the final product ends up looking. This particular illustration is part of a DecGAYdes series I'm doing that I might sell as magnets or postcards. Right now I printed postcards of my 1970s one, but this is the 1920s one. And each one is a gay couple, sort of in outfits themed that time period. And I kind of wanted to, like, I guess, showcase that gay people existed for like centuries and like decades and whatever. Um, because I feel like it's kind of wiped from history a lot, and people almost pretend that gay people is like a new thing or like started in the 80s, but gay people have kind of always existed. Um, so this one I did 1920s because I thought the sort of 1920s flapper girl look was kind of cute and fun, and I could do like a lot of energy and like bead swinging and those pretty dresses with the feather headbands and whatnot. Um, I sort of did a research into them, and I looked up a lot of what flappers dressed like and looked like, sort of also based on ethnicity too, because white flappers dressed a little bit differently than black flappers. Not even sure if it was like the same terminology, but I did a little bit of research to see how like their hairstyles would work, and I was thinking kind of like a Great Gatsby look to it, I guess. And I looked at like a lot of different photos, and it was weird thinking of color, not just in like ethnicity and race wise, but like actual color of like their clothes. Because when you think of the 1920s, a lot of it's black and white, like grayscale, and I realized I never saw olden times. I kind of just assumed they were in grayscale. When I was little, I thought people, I don't know, this might sound totally silly, but like when I'd watch a show like I Love Lucy or Leave It to Beaver or whatever, I thought they actually were gray. I thought everything was gray. And over time, like in the 70s or 60s, people kind of developed color, which is really weird and like strange to think, but I don't know, that was like 6-year-old me, and then I reached a point when I was just like, wow, that's completely absurd, but it's sort of funny to think about. So anyway, when I was working on this, it was like hard to think of what colors they'd be, so I had to actually not just research photos, but look into descriptions for what people would wear and what they'd look like at the time, because I knew they couldn't be gray or grayscale, they had to be in color. I guess I could have done the illustration in gray, but then I didn't know where I would stop, because I want to do one for pretty much 1900 to like current times, every decade from then. I think color photos didn't start getting used until like the 60s, but they had like Technicolor movies like The Wizard of Oz in the 1930s. So I didn't really know where to stop and where to start doing color, and it would be weird to have half of the illustrations be black and white and half be in color. So whatever, I just did some research on them. And I found a lot of 1920s like flapper outfits and clothing styles were very light pastels, like kind of washed out, probably because there weren't a lot of dyes available at the time, or that was just the style. I do know that different time periods have different colors, because they were affected by different things like the war or the Great Depression. I know dyes were infrequently from like the 30s into like the 50s or something, so you'd see less color schemes. Um, Even in like children's books, older ones from like the 1900s to maybe the 1960s use like a tricolor thing where they kind of pick three colors like yellow, blue, red, and that would be all you would see in the book. But in the 80s, more dyes were available, so you'd see all these beautiful, vibrant illustrations. I think maybe in the 70s that started to occur. And you'd see like fully detailed, vibrant children's books with like all sorts of colors, and they almost overdid it and put too many colors in. But a long time ago, it would be like certain colors were available, and like if there was a war going on, you might see more light pastels and faded colors. During the Great Depression, people tended to wear whites and grays and like, I don't know, twill and really plain, boring working clothes. It might have been part of like a more conservative time too. In the 1970s, everyone was wearing vibrant yellows, reds, rainbows, all kinds of pretty colors, which is what I thought of for my other illustration. I did a 1970s one. It's two guys holding hands, and I wanted to do bell bottoms and like the bright colors and the rainbow schemes. It's weird because when I think of gay couples and gay people and all that, I kind of get like this 1970s look in my head. I feel like it's because a lot of gay pride stuff is very 1970s, because that's when gay pride kind of originated and it started to blossom and people were outspoken. And we had like Harvey Milk, who was, well, sadly like murdered in 79. But gay pride sort of picked up, and then the rainbow flag was introduced, and so gay people and all that, gay pride and whatever, tends to be tied to the 70s. But it's interesting to think of gay couples have existed forever and existed in all time periods and had to kind of keep it secret. So I thought I'd do sort of cute, soft, almost childish and sweet illustrations of gay couples just sort of existing and being happy. And when I was thinking of the 1920s, I was thinking of kind of like they're dancing and sort of being together and they're really happy, and maybe they have to go home to like more conservative households, they have to kind of hide it, but in this moment they can be kind of free and happy and just alive and not afraid who they are. And I don't know, I think that there's something sweet about that. And so I want each one of these illustrations to showcase like a singular moment of like joy and happiness. That maybe it's not how gay people tend to be depicted in the media. I feel like whenever I see gay people in older movies and whatnot, I get kind of like even Carol, where it's open to them being together in the end. It was sort of like melancholy and dealt with divorce and homophobia. And in Brokeback Mountain, when there's like death and stuff like that. Most movies and media depicting LGBT people is kind of sad. So I want to do something cute and fun and happy that shows that there were moments of pure joy and just happy. They're happy and gay. So anyway, I'm kind of reaching the end of this video, and let me know what you'd like to see in more illustrations, or what you'd like to hear me talk about, my processes, what brushes I use and whatnot. Just let me know if you liked the video, and hopefully I'll be uploading more, maybe one a week. I don't know, I kind of want to do a Wednesday schedule just because I think Wednesdays are really cool, but this is probably going up on a Thursday because I slept too much on Wednesday. So anyway, thanks for watching this video if you got all the way to the end, and thanks for listening to me ramble on. So, see ya.